Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs of 18th of December. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. Now, let's start. Which country is the host of 36th International Geological Congress? Right answer is India. So, India is going to be the host of 36th International Geological Congress in March 2020. Now, this congress is popularly described as Olympics of Geosciences, and these IGC, that is International Geological Congress, are global geoscientific events that are organized after 4 years, and this time it is going to be in India. Which company has won the Space Oscars award at Copernicus Masters competition? Right answer is Blue Sky Analytics. So recently, Blue Sky Analytics won the Space Oscars award on international competition Copernicus Masters, and these awards were presented in a ceremony during European Space Week, and this event held in Helsinki. It is in Finland, and this Blue Sky Analytics has become the first Indian startup to win the Space Oscars award. Now, if we talk about Finland, recently Finland was in news as United Nations released World Happiness Report, and as per this report, Finland is the world's happiest country. India is on 140th position. Finland was also in news as recently Ms. Sanna Marin became the Prime Minister of Finland, and overall she became the youngest Prime Minister ever. Who has recently created history by scoring centuries in debut in both one-day international match and in Test cricket? Right answer is Mr. Abid Ali. So Pakistan opener Abid Ali has become the only male player in cricket history so far to score 100 in both, that means in ODI as well as in Test cricket. Now, he is from Pakistan. If we talk about Pakistan, recently Pakistan's leg spinner Mr. Abdul Qadir passed away. Pakistan was also in news as recently Misbah ul Haq was named as the head coach of Pakistan's cricket team. In addition to that, Pakistan was also in news because of Kartarpur Corridor, as India and Pakistan signed agreement to operationalize this Kartarpur Corridor. In addition to that, Pakistan was also in news as recently it became first country in the world to introduce new vaccine to combat typhoid. In addition to that, Pakistan was also in news as recently it conducted the test launch of Shaheen-1. It is surface-to-surface ballistic missile. Recently, who has been crowned as Miss World Asia 2019? Right answer is Suman Rao. So recently, India's Suman Rao became the Miss World Asia. Actually, Tony N. Singh was crowned Miss World. She is from Jamaica, and she is the 4th Jamaican woman to win Miss World. On the other hand, India's Miss Suman Rao was crowned Miss World Asia. The Ministry of Road Transport and Highways has issued a draft notification on 15th of December to regulate the registration of which type of vehicles? Right answer is vintage vehicles. So recently, MORTH, that is Ministry of Road Transport and Highways, issued a draft notification to regulate the registration of old vintage vehicles. Now, the ministry has planned to provide a special number plate, and these number plates will have letters VA to signify the vintage vehicles. Now, if we talk about Ministry of Road Transport, present minister is Mr. Nitin Gadkari. His constituency is Nagpur. Nagpur is in Maharashtra. Now, coming back to Ministry of Road Transport, recently the ministry made it mandatory to have FASTags from 15th of December. These FASTags are used on vehicles, and this will be helpful in automatic toll collection. These are based on RFID, that is radio frequency identification. Now, the Ministry of Road Transport was also in news as recently it launched a pilot project for using FASTags for parking purpose, and this pilot project was started in Hyderabad Airport, and after this it will be implemented in Delhi Airport. Apart from that, the Ministry of Road Transport was also in news as recently NHAI, that is National Highways Authority of India, was authorized by Government of India to set up InvIT, that is Infrastructure Investment Trust. Now, NHAI is under Ministry of Road Transport and Highways. Recently, which paramilitary force has launched the first ever matrimonial site for its staff? Right answer is ITBP. So recently, ITBP has started a dedicated matrimonial site for its staff, and this website will be managed by ITBP and only the staff will be able to access it. Now, ITBP is Indo-Tibet Border Police and it is under Ministry of Home Affairs. Recently, ITBP was in news as MHA, that is Ministry of Home Affairs, proposed that Assam Rifles should be merged with ITBP. Now, currently, Assam Rifle is under the administrative control of MHA, that is Ministry of Home Affairs, and it is under the operational control of Indian Army, that means Ministry of Defense. So, this duality of control leads to a problem of coordination, and that is why Ministry of Home Affairs suggested that this Assam Rifles should be merged with ITBP. Now, Assam Rifles guards Indo-Myanmar border and ITBP provides security to Indo-China border. Apart from that, it should be kept in mind that the headquarter of ITBP is in New Delhi and headquarter of Assam Rifles is in Shillong. Police of which state has recently received the President Colors Award 2019? Right answer is Gujarat. So recently, Gujarat Police was presented the President's Colors Award by Vice President Mr. M. Venkaiah Naidu. And this prestigious President's Colors Award is also known as Nissan. Now, if we talk about Gujarat, recently Gujarat was in news as India's first maritime museum will be set up in Lothal in Gujarat. Gujarat was also in news as recently Niti Aayog released Composite Water Management Index, and as per this index, Gujarat is the top performing state. In addition to that, Gujarat was also in news as recently Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan launched SCs campaign in Gujarat in Gandhinagar, and the SCs stands for Social Awareness and Action to Neutralize Pneumonia Successfully, and the objective of this initiative is to reduce the child mortality due to pneumonia. Now, Gujarat was also in news because of GKToC, that is Gujarat Control of Terrorism and Organized Crime Bill. Actually, recently it was approved by President of India, therefore it became the Act. Gujarat was also in news as recently IFCO introduced India's first nanotechnology based environment friendly plant nutrition products, and for this the first field trial event held in Gujarat. If we talk about IFCO, it is world's largest fertilizer cooperative. IFCO stands for Indian Farmers Fertilizer Cooperative Limited. Answer in comment box, where is the headquarter of IFCO? Which union territory unveiled a startup policy of the Industries Department? Right answer is Puducherry. So recently, Union Territory of Puducherry unveiled a startup policy of Industries Department. Now, if we talk about Union Territory of Puducherry, it is under the jurisdiction of Madras High Court. Madras High Court was established in 1862 under Indian High Courts Act of 1861, and Tamil Nadu as well as Puducherry are under the jurisdiction of Madras High Court, and the Chief Minister of Puducherry is Mr. V. Narayan Swamy and LG is Ms. Kiran Bedi. And recently she was in news as she was the chief guest for All India Police Science Congress. This event held in Lucknow in Uttar Pradesh. Now, Puducherry was also in news as recently the 29th edition of RCP, that is Regional Contact Point Meeting of Asia Pacific region of WCO, that is World Customs Organization, held in Puducherry. If we talk about World Customs Organization, the headquarters is in Brussels. Brussels is in Belgium, and recently Belgium got its first female Prime Minister as Ms. Sophie Willems took charge. In fact, the headquarters of NATO is also in Belgium in Brussels. NATO stands for North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Which site has been selected for sample collection on asteroid Bennu? Right answer is Nightingale. So recently, NASA has finally selected a sample collection site on asteroid Bennu after the arrival of OSIRIS-REx spacecraft. Actually, the OSIRIS-REx mission team has selected sample site Nightingale, and it is the primary sample site. The team has also selected a secondary backup sample collection site, and the name of this backup sample site is Osprey. Now, if we talk about OSIRIS-REx, it stands for Origins Spectral Interpretation, Resource Identification, Security, Regolith Explorer. Actually, you need not to remember the full form, but you should know about it. So, it is a mission by NASA to collect the samples from asteroid, and the main goal of this mission was to obtain sample from asteroid Bennu, and that is why these two selection sites were selected by NASA. First selection site is Nightingale and backup selection site is Osprey. NASA is the space agency of USA. Which famous massage has been recently added to the prestigious heritage list of UNESCO? Right answer is Nuad Thai massage. So recently, Thailand's famous Nuad Thai massage was added to UNESCO's prestigious heritage list. UNESCO stands for United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization. Now recently UNESCO was in news as Saudi Arabia was elected to UNESCO's World Heritage Committee for the first time. World Heritage Committee is the governing body of UNESCO. If we talk about heritage sites in India, there are total 38 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Out of these 38, 30 are cultural, 7 are natural, and 1 is mixed site. This one is Kanchenjunga National Park in Sikkim. And in 2017, Ahmedabad in Gujarat became the first Indian city to get the World Heritage Site status. Apart from that, UNESCO was also in news as 40th UNESCO General Conference held in France in Paris. And during this session, 9 new members were elected to the World Heritage Committee. Now obviously you need not to remember all these names, but you should know about Saudi because Saudi Arabia has been elected to UNESCO's World Heritage Committee for the first time. In addition to Saudi Arabia, Thailand was also elected. Apart from Thailand, Russia and few other countries were also elected. Which asset management company has recently launched India's first corporate bond ETF? ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund. Right answer is Edelweiss. So recently, Edelweiss Asset Management Company has launched India's first corporate bond ETF. And this India's first corporate bond ETF is known as Bharat Bond ETF. And if we talk about this ETF, it is a government initiative, and Edelweiss AMC, that means Asset Management Company, has been given the mandate to design and manage the product. If we talk about Bharat Bond ETF, it is India's first bond exchange traded fund, and this ETF will invest in a portfolio of AAA rated bonds of public sector entities. And there are 2 investment options. One investment option is for 3 years, another one is for 10 years. The Island of Tahiti, which is to host the surfing events at 2024 Paris Olympics, is located in which ocean? Right answer is Pacific. So the Island of Tahiti will host the surfing event at the 2024 Paris Olympics. Now this Tahiti Island is located in the southern part of Pacific Ocean. If we talk about Olympics, the 2022 Winter Olympics will be in China, 2018 Winter Olympics held in South Korea, and 2026 Winter Olympics are going to be in Italy. On the other hand, if we talk about Summer Olympic Games, 2016 Summer Olympic Games held in Brazil, 2020 Summer Olympic Games will be in Tokyo in Japan, and France is going to be the host of 2024 Summer Olympic Games, and USA is going to be the host of 2028 Summer Olympic Games. USA is also going to be the host of 2020 G7 Summit. This year, G7 Summit held in France. Now, there's one more important fact about Olympics. Recently, WADA, that is World Anti-Doping Agency, banned Russia from Olympics and World Championship for 4 years on doping charges. WADA stands for World Anti-Doping Agency. It is global level institution. At national level, we have NADA, that is National Anti-Doping Agency. And recently, NADA was in news as it appointed Bollywood actor Mr. Sunil Sethi as brand ambassador. Legislative Assembly of which state has recently passed bill to create 2 separate commissions for scheduled caste and scheduled tribes? Right answer is Andhra Pradesh. So recently, Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly passed 2 bills to create 2 separate commissions for scheduled caste and for scheduled tribes. Now, Andhra Pradesh was also in news as recently it was the host of first ever BIMSTEC Ports Conclave. This Ports Conclave held in Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh. Apart from that, Andhra Pradesh was also in news because of Disha bill, and recently it was passed by Andhra Pradesh Legislative Assembly, and now it became the Andhra Pradesh Criminal Law Amendment Act. And as per the provisions of this act, it provides for the completion of investigation related to rape cases within 7 days and trial in 14 days if there are adequate, substantial, conclusive evidence. That also provides death penalty for rape crimes. In addition to that, there is a stringent punishment for other crimes against women. Apart from that, Andhra Pradesh government will now establish a women and children offenders registry, and this registry will be made public and it will be available to the law enforcement agencies of our country. Which bank has signed a loan agreement with German Development Bank to establish energy efficient housing program in India? Right answer is State Bank of India. So recently SBI has signed a loan agreement with KfW, it is German Development Bank, and the aim of this agreement is to establish an energy efficient housing program in our country. Now SBI was also in news as recently Shanghai branch of SBI became the first Indian bank to link up with China's NAPS, that is National Advanced Payment System. SBI was also in news as recently it became the first bank in country to launch green car loan, and the objective of this initiative is to promote the use of EVs, that is electric vehicles. SBI was also in news as recently it opened its branch in Melbourne, and therefore it became the first Indian bank to have a branch in Australia's Victoria. If we talk about Australia, recently Australia was in news as it was the host of No Money for Terror conference. India is going to host this conference in 2020. So this year, that means in 2019, Australia was host, India is going to be the host in 2020. And the first such conference held in France in 2018. Mitra Shakti is a military exercise of India with which country? So it is a joint military exercise between India and Sri Lanka, and recently it was in news as the 7th edition of Mitra Shakti exercise concluded in Pune, and the objective of this exercise is to enhance interoperability between Indian Army and Sri Lankan Army. Now if we talk about Sri Lanka, recently Mr. Gotabaya Rajapaksa became the president of Sri Lanka, and he appointed his brother Mr. Mahinda Rajapaksa as the Prime Minister of country. Sri Lanka was also in news because of New Colombo Declaration, as Sri Lanka and UNEP announced New Colombo Declaration for tackling global nitrogen challenge. Now answer in comment box, where is the headquarters of UNEP? Sri Lanka was also in news as recently it launched Lotus Tower, and it is the tallest tower of South Asia, and the majority of funding for this Lotus Tower was provided by China, and this tower is in Sri Lanka in Colombo. Apart from that, Sri Lanka was also in news as recently Sri Lanka was removed from FATF grey list. FATF stands for Financial Action Task Force. The headquarters of FATF is in France, and recently France was the host of this year G7 summit. Next year USA is going to be the host. Now coming back to FATF, recently FATF was in news as Saudi Arabia became the member of FATF. Saudi Arabia is going to be the host of G20 summit in 2020, and this year this G20 summit held in Japan. Japan is also in news as it is going to be the host of Summer Olympic Games in 2020 in Tokyo. Which international finance institution is funding the Khyber Pass Economic Corridor project of Pakistan? Right answer is World Bank. So Pakistan and World Bank have signed a loan agreement worth 406 million USD, that is US dollar, for the Khyber Pass Economic Corridor project. Now as per World Bank, this Khyber Pass Economic Corridor connects Pakistan and Afghanistan with Central Asia through Khyber Pass. National Energy Conservation Day is observed on which date? So it is observed on 14th of December, and this day is observed on 14th of December every year since 1991. It is organized by BEE, that is Bureau of Energy Efficiency. Answer in comment box, it is under which union ministry? Who is the successor of General Bipin Rawat as the new Chief of Army Staff? Right answer is Mr. Manoj Mukund Narwane. So Lieutenant General Mr. Manoj Mukund Narwane will be the 28th COAS, that is Chief of Army Staff, as the current Army Chief General Bipin Rawat will be retiring on 31st of December. Now if we talk about Army, recently Army was in news as Lieutenant Colonel Jyoti Sharma has been appointed as Indian Army's first female judge, Advocate General officer to be deployed on a foreign mission. And she will be the military legal expert with the government of Seychelles. Indian Army was also in news as recently it launched OASIS program. OASIS stands for Officers Automated Structures Information System, and the objective of this initiative is to digitize the official records of Army. Apart from that, Indian Army celebrates 15th of January as Army Day, and this is celebrated in the recognition of Field Marshal Mr. K.M. Kariappa taking over as the first Commander-in-Chief of Indian Army. Now answer in comment box, who was the last British Commander-in-Chief of India? Bangladesh celebrated its Victory Day on 16th of December to mark the day when it attained the liberation from which country? Right answer is Pakistan. So Bangladesh celebrated its 49th Victory Day on 16th of December 2019. Now 16th of December is special for Bangladesh as this day Bangladesh attained liberation from Pakistan and became an independent nation in 1971. And it became nation under the leadership of Bangabandhu Mr. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Now India played a crucial role in the liberation of Bangladesh, and that is why India celebrates 16th of December as Vijay Divas. Now Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was the father of current Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Ms. Sheikh Hasina. If we talk about Bangladesh, the capital of Bangladesh is Dhaka, currency is Taka. Recently Bangladesh was in news as it was the top performer in South Asia as per gender gap report. So it is the top performer in South Asia, and this report was published by World Economic Forum. Bangladesh is on 50th position. India is on 112. Last year India was on 108. This gender gap report was first published in 2006. At that point of time, India was on 98th position. International Hockey Federation revealed new world ranking system for the teams. Now the question is, where is the headquarter of FIH? Right answer is Switzerland. So the headquarter of FIH, that is International Hockey Federation, is in Lausanne in Switzerland. And the current president of FIH is Mr. Narendra Batra. He is the head of Indian Olympic Association. Now FIH is responsible for organizing major hockey tournaments. Which rank has been achieved by India in World Economic Forum report on gender gap? Right answer is 112. So recently WEF, that is World Economic Forum, released gender gap report, and as per this report India is on 112 position. Last year India was on 108th position. Now this World Economic Forum published this gender gap report, and this gender gap report analyzed countries on the basis of 4 parameters. These are economic participation and opportunity, another one is educational attainment, third one is health and survival, and fourth one is political empowerment. Now it should be kept in mind that Iceland is on the top as per World Gender Gap Index, and Yemen is the worst performer as per this report. In South Asia, Bangladesh is the top performer. World Economic Forum released gender gap report for the first time in 2006. In that year, India was on 98th position. Now one peculiar thing that you should keep in mind is that India is the only country where economic gender gap is larger than political gender gap. A sustainable development cell has been recently established by which union ministry? Right answer is Ministry of Coal. So recently, the Ministry of Coal announced that it is going to establish a sustainable development cell. Now answer in comment box, who is our present coal minister? So these were the important questions of today's quiz. Thank you, and that's all for the day.